Hi, my name is JT.
And I'm Evan.
And welcome to G Club. Today we're going to be talking about Ages, a deck building card game by Chris Shaner. Let's get it to the table, see how it plays, and we'll come back and tell you what we think about it.
In Ages, players are looking to actually collect victory points. And they'll do it through these cards. This right here is the cost of the card, but it also represents the victory points of the card. So, Thomas Edison is worth 12 victory points. Sun Tzu is worth 4 victory points. And so let's take a look at how this game is played. So here you have icons: art, good, evil, and science, which is what makes up the acronym AGES. You also have a stack of 2 gold coins over here. You have your elite characters all along the top. These are all the starting characters. They will always be the same with a deck of at least 10 elite characters. Across the bottom, you also have the main deck, which is where you're going to be interacting with locations, weapons, relics, events, and characters, where you're going to recruit them into your hand or into your deck so that you can actually utilize them in order to be able to pick up more cards. And so your starting deck over here consists of 8 gold, 2 jesters, and so as you can see here we have 2 starting decks. On a player's turn, they're going to start off with a hand of 5 cards. On their turn, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to go into the icon phase. The icon phase is where they grab either an art, a good, an evil, or a science. Why you would pick one is depending on what cards you have out there and how you want to activate them. So, let's start off with science. I'm going to put a science card out in front, and that's going to end my icon phase. And then we would go into what's called the elite phase. The elite phase is using the actual text that are across each one of the cards across the top here. Let's say that this was our elite phase. We would have to go through the elite phase, ignoring the blue, because the blue actually happens at any point. But these red cards here, we would want to be able to choose one of them and do them in order. So in this case here, with Aristotle, we'd want to place a card from the discard pile on top of your deck. Genghis Khan would actually have you discard a card. Socrates would make you displace a card in the main zone. So, you could do these in any order, but let's just say you displace a card in the main zone, and then from here, you could discard a card, and then you could actually use Aristotle here to then place a card from your discard pile on top of your deck. So let's say you had a hand that you really liked, you discarded a card, and then you use Aristotle to actually place a card in your discard pile on top of your deck. So in the beginning, you're going to have 4 elite characters. All the starting elites have blue text, and they all have the same thing. And so in the beginning, you have starting elite. All elite cards have rapport. And what that means is that for every icon that you actually own, so let's say that you had 3 of evil icons in your icon display, that would actually give you a reduction in how much it costs to purchase Vlad or any other elite character. So if you had 3 of these, this would actually mean that Vlad, you would only cost you 9. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to use the text on a card. So, let's say that we've done the icon phase, we've grabbed ourselves a good, and we also have the elites phase. We've already taken care of that, and now we're actually going to utilize one of these cards. So, we're going to use Baghdad Battery, which is just kind of fun to say anyway. Baghdad Battery here is a relic. You displace 2 cards in the main zone. If they have an icon type, draw 1 card. So, in this case, we need to check to see if we meet the icon threshold of good and science. So let's take a look. And here we are. I have good and science. So I'm going to play this card, and I'm going to displace 2 cards in the main zone. And what you're looking for here is if they share an icon type, draw 1 card. So let's see if we can find one that actually has the same type. So let's say I want to get rid of Stonehenge and World War II. World War II and Stonehenge both have the evil icon. So when I displace them, I put them in the displace pile over here. Put them face down, and I get to draw an extra card because I was able to get 2 cards that share the same icon type. And then of course, anytime we remove any cards from the row, we do want to replace them. Now, once you play the card and you've utilized the text, it now goes into the gold stack. Okay? So unlike the gold cards where your gold is worth 1 and it doesn't have any text, this has text now, and I've utilized this to get the use of the text, and now I'm going to use the gold for it. So I was able to draw an extra card, and so now if you look, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 gold that I can use, and I can purchase up as much as I want to. So if I wanted to buy a gold coin for 3 and a California Gold Rush for 4, I could do that right now, and I could grab that for 7. So let's go ahead and do that. Grab that up, and we'll throw that in our discard pile here, and we'll take our gold stack and put that away. And then, of course, just like any other deck builders, I'm going to shuffle up my deck real good and draw my new hand and wait for the next player's turn. So we'll keep going through this cycle of going through grabbing an icon, following the procedures when it comes to the elite phase, purchasing our cards, interacting with each other, putting them into our deck, until one of two things happen that triggers the end of the game. One is that the main deck runs out, or the elite deck runs out. Once it's complete, then what we'll do is we'll take a look at the top of our cards, and we'll add up all of the victory points across the top, and that will become our final score. And of course, just like any other victory point game, whoever has the highest score wins. And that's how you play Ages.
Let's talk about our final thoughts here. Overall, what did you think of the value, and what did you think of the game itself? Like, would you recommend it?
I would definitely recommend it. It is an awesome game. I would play it again and again and again. I love it. I think the price is a good price. My dad actually asked me what I think it'd be worth about, and what I said was actually what the list price was. Yeah,
so it's a $30 game list price. So when I asked him, he said $30. So I think that is a fair price for the game itself. The gameplay is great. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy Deck Builders. One of my favorite games of all time is Star Realms. I've got over 1,500 games in the app. I play online constantly with different guys on Facebook and Board Game Geek and tournaments. And so it's a game that I love to play. So I enjoy the deck building genre. If you're new to deck building, I don't know if I would say to start with this one. So it's a little bit more on the complex side. It's not too terrible, but I would say if you're not familiar with deck building, you might want to take a shot at doing the deck building genre first, maybe do Dominion or something like that, and then use this as the next step up. So if you're new to the hobby, you're more than welcome to take a look at a game like this, but I would recommend playing it with other people that know how to play or know how to do deck building so they can kind of help you out. What do you think?
I would agree. It isn't really a starter deck building game, but it's a really good one. So if you do know how to play deck building games somewhat, it'd be a good one to do.
Yeah. So overall, I would say if you enjoy deck building, this is definitely one to try out. See if it goes with your taste. If you enjoy history and you like reading up on history, then take a look at this one. I highly recommend it as something to try. If you don't like deck building, I would say to avoid it. This is probably not the game for you if you do not like deck building. I'm not sure if this is really going to change your mind about that. So with that said, if you played this game, put your notes in the comments below about what you think about the game. Put down in the notes below any questions that you have about the game, something that was confusing to you. We'd be happy to try to help you out the best we can and answer any questions that you have. In the meantime, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like if you like the video, and to leave a comment below with any feedback that you have for us. So, with that said, my name is JT.
I'm Evan.
And thanks for watching G Club.